Ready to buy a car, a home, or just want to take control of your money? Your FICO score matters, and 90% of top lenders use it to make decisions. Check your FICO score for free today without hurting your credit score. Visit myfico.com/free or download the MyFICO app today. MyFICO gives you the score lenders use most, plus credit reports and real-time alerts to help keep you on top of your credit. Visit myfico.com/free and take the mystery out of your FICO score.
You alright, mate? So we're back with some cameos. So these for those of you, if this is the first one you've listened to, I'm not going to introduce it like this every time, but cameos are where you can order a video from me on cameo.com/worldaroundyou. So it's about a tenner, works out about £10 if you want one. Birthday messages, fucking tell your cousin that your nan's dead. Maybe a message for your brother to tell him that his dad's dead. You know, or you could just be like, you know, fucking tell me mate happy birthday, show him some of your wares. I'm probably not going to include videos that are like that on these though, where it's, you know, look, just a quick minute sort of say happy birthday, show a couple things, please don't make it too long. Probably won't include them in this because that's not going to be that much fun for you to listen to. That's probably only interesting to the people that are ordering them. And I'm not knocking that, you know. Some people don't want to listen to a 6-minute ramble of some, you know, some weirdo in a loft who chops up rats for a living. And who thinks aliens are pretty much everywhere and amongst us and that. So, you know, I understand it's not going to appeal to everybody, but if you want to listen to them, that's what this episode is. This is episode 2 of the cameos, mate. Fucking, here you go, here's the first one, and it's from someone called Becca, and it's for their mate Zoe. And the instructions they've given me is, please can you tell her never to go back to Essex George again. Not a nice guy and he did horrible things. His head's too big for his body. He looks like your bobblehead dead ducks. Also, tell her to stop using the Wi-Fi voice on me because it's rude. Now, I may have forgotten about the Wi-Fi voice, but I think I made up for it because the video was almost 5 minutes long for them. I think you'll enjoy this one. I think this is okay. I think there's a good spot of rambling in here. Again, I'll edit anything out and I'll make it very obvious that I've edited it out. But I think it should be okay, this one, I think, because I don't have a clue what's going on. They've only given me a little short paragraph. But I quite like it 'cause it's punchy, you know. But see what you think. Here's the first one of this week's. She wants me to tell you to never go back to Essex George again. Now, there's part of me that's hoping that's like an ironic name. And it's some guy called Frank from Leeds. And you just call him Essex George because he wears a scarf. Something like that, you know. Making out that he's posh, calling him George and Essex and that. That sort of denotes poshness, doesn't it? And there's not many people really that like posh people. A lot of people do look down on them, don't they? I mean, from my experience of how I've seen people act. But apparently he's not a nice guy, mate, and he did horrible things, and his head's too big for his body. And it kind of sounds in a way, Becca might not like this, but it could be a little bit of jealousy here from Becca's side. Just, you know, playing devil's advocate. But I'm not paid to play devil's advocate. That's for you to decide. I'm here to say some things about George. Apparently, he looks like one of these bobblehead ducks, mate, which I quite like the idea of. I mean, I don't like the idea that I've made these after some guy called Essex George, e.g. example, you know, don't want to make an example of him, but you know, I don't know the guy, don't know you either, you know, this could all be made up just to test me, just to see, you know, what will he say about this George fella. Does he know a George? The only George I'm aware of is King George, who fucking wrecked some dragons and that. And that's why we don't live under the tyranny of massive flying lizards anymore. But this guy isn't that, is he? Apparently he did horrible stuff and that, so. She wants me to tell you to stop using the Wi-Fi voice on you as well, it's rude. But, I mean, I'll try and put this dilemma between yourself and example into perspective for you. Let me just walk to my other studio. It's very unprofessional, but I need it to be that end to get the bobblehead duckling, and this end to show you this next thing. So, you know, this is the little interlude, so imagine like some lift music going on in here, right? But, see, now in your head, right, this is you, innit? Fucking wedding bells, you know, ding dong, fucking sort of thing. But this, mate, according to Becca, this isn't Essex George, mate. No, it's not Essex George. Not for you, anyway. Maybe for someone else, you know.
maybe someone who might like horrible things happening to them. Now, I don't know what these horrible things are, and I'm not going to guess, because, you know, some men can do some very nasty things to women. And, you know, everyone's got a line in the sand, you know. Maybe you took your Netflix password and gave it about round the pub, you know, and got you banned for sharing your Netflix password. Could be something, you know, disgusting like that, despicable sort of stuff, you know. Or maybe he was taking, you know, wax crayons on your credit cards and not and getting all your details on a piece of paper, or scratching over them with a pencil on a sheet of paper to copy all your bank details. I don't know the guy again, don't know you. But this is all she's really left me with, is to tell you not to go back to him. So just gotta drive it home, mate. Don't go back to him, man. They say there's plenty more fish in the sea, isn't there? But there's loads of shit in the sea, man. There's fucking whales, and I don't want to go on about whales again. But, you know, maybe you gotta try a fatter guy, you know. Give a fat guy a chance. It doesn't have to be like a whale of a man, but, you know, maybe Essex George has got something going for him. Maybe he's got a nice body, or, you know, maybe it's something like that. What if you go for a guy who's got a shit body, and then you can be like, oh, then you got to really look and search on the minute. Maybe you like them as a person, but you don't find them physically attractive. But you might find when you sort of just like say this is a fat fella for sake of argument, right? And obviously he's taller than me because I'm the lady in the relationship, and I'm a somewhat, you know, classic guy. Now here's where it would be his left breast for the sake of the camera. Maybe you like it when you go like that underneath, but you don't know that yet because you haven't been with a fat guy. Do you know what I mean? Now I don't know if you have been with a fat guy or not, but I'm presuming if George isn't very nice, then he must at least be attractive, you know. Because if he's not, then, you know, a bit weird, innit? This seems a bit odd. But people like what they like, don't they? I like chopping up rats, mate, and you like some big-headed lad who's... I was always told I've got a big head, though. Never got told I look like a disembodied duck, though, to be fair. So, you know, at least I got that going for me. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope, you know, I've not ruined your relationship amongst you and Becca, or planted any seeds of doubt in your heads. I'll fucking see you in a bit, mate.
There you go, bit of fucking dating advice, mate, there. Bit of, a couple tips, you know, on how she should live a life. She should get with some fat fella. So I don't know what you thought of that. I don't know if you thought, you know, maybe this could be, putting these out on here could be the worst decision I've ever made, mate. Maybe you're listening to these going, these are shit, these are boring. I don't know, man. I've got no way of gauging stuff like this. Just in the same way I've got no way of gauging what's on Patreon, mate. At least with the regular podcasts, maybe not the Here's Hours, I've got no idea if they're funny, apart from when people tell me they found it funny. But at least for the main episodes of the podcast, the deep dive ones, at least I know this is, you know, all this stuff's based in stuff I've read, research and that. And if my jokes don't hit, if the shit the jokes and that, then that don't really matter, because at least you've come away from it learning something. But I'm hoping that you're enjoying these, or you might be thinking, oh, fucking hell, I know this would be perfect for fucking Dave, this, I'll get one of these for Dave, or I'll get one of these for Gary, you know, from the pub for his birthday, because he keeps trying to shag the barmaid, mate, so I'll get him one. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. This one is for someone that the saying's called Drew Peacock, which I can't believe is a real name. If it is, it's the most unfortunate lad going, isn't it? Unless that's a flattering thing to have a droopy cock, I'm not sure. But this is from his girlfriend, and she wanted him roasting because he's moving to uni, and they'd like me to roast him about being too much of a softie with the women. So I'm pretty sure it was all just a ruse, you know, to try and get me. I was quite paranoid with this one. I was really convinced that they were trying to make me believe that this guy was called Drew Peacock and he's too soft with the women, as if, you know, he can't get hard. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like I'm speaking to somebody's penis. And given the comments that I get on Facebook, maybe that's what this was, I thought. Someone did come forward and say, thank you for the cameo, that was great. So I'm guessing it's not a weird thing where someone who follows maybe me Facebook or is on my OnlyFans has wanted a very niche thing where I do a video just speaking to their penis, you know, their erectile dysfunctional penis. Erectile dysfunctional? dysfunctionally erect. I'm not sure what the word would be. What would be? Can't get hard. You know, they're soft penis. You know, maybe it's a way to fucking cheer it on. They're gonna play this every time they bring a girl home. They're gonna be pop this on and put it in their ears. I'm sure there was a bit of this in their ears now. Fucking pop me in their ears. Listen to this. What is it? It's a 5 minute video almost. So maybe they're going to listen to this and they're like, right, I'm ready to go. And by that point, the girl's ready as well, you know, because she's already started on herself. And you're like, right, we'll both be finished in 30 seconds. Buzzing. You know, not that I'm going to get them going in that way. They just had the sort of the pep talk from me. But it was supposed to be a roast anyway. Anyway, we're getting too far from it. Here's the cameo for Drew Peacock from his girlfriend. Here you go. Let's see what you think it is.
Right, Drew Peacock. May's got a little, wants me to roast you. She's asked me to roast you. Now I've never roasted anyone on here. You be first, and maybe that's something you can say to some of the women you're being too soft with. You need to stiffen up, mate. You need to harden up a bit. You know, get harder. You know, and not be like just like floating about the room and that. You've got to be a bit more. You got to be a bit more up front with them, a bit more forward, you know, and maybe up a little bit, and maybe slightly crooked, you know. That's what they like, mate. So I've heard, anyway. You know, apparently you're moving to uni. Now, when I went to uni, it's probably no surprise to you watching this. I wasn't really a ladies' man. Wasn't really a people person. Pretty much just locked myself in my bedroom for 3 years and just played PlayStation. Because I had the opportunity to, you know, I'd done a bit of that obviously before then, but I still used to work in a butcher's, and I didn't have to work in a butcher's on a weekend and that, so I didn't have to be up in the mornings anymore, so I could stay up all night playing GTA 5 on the PlayStation. Mate, great time. But a lot of people had a better time by, you know, getting off with women and that, whereas I wasn't really, I don't know, not really to say I wasn't into it, but well, you know. But this is about me. This is supposed to be about you moving to uni, and I know that this feels like it's just a lie anyway. Not what I'm saying. I'm telling you the truth. But I don't think me is telling me the truth. I don't think me is telling me the truth, because I find it very hard to believe there's someone called Drew Peacock, because obviously that sounds like Droopy Cock. And if your mum and dad did name you that, then, I mean, at least they've got a sense of humour. I imagine you've lived with like a little a boy called Sue situation, you know. But I mean, that would mean though that you've had something to prove, and like maybe you'd go around trying to prove that by getting with women. And if you tell women my name's Droopy Cock, you know, they're going to be like, is it really? Eh? How far does it droop? Does it droop far? Does it not droop that far? You know. It's an hard one to try, and they've literally given me, all they've given me to go off here is moving to uni and being too much of a softie with the women. But you probably need to, you know, just don't go the negging route. Negging, don't do that, because there's no point to it. It's just, you know, it's just mean-spirited and that, and everyone will just think you're a bellend. But, you know, just be polite, you know, and be like, you know, alright mate. You drunk? No. Buzzing. Fancy a bit? You know, try that. It's never worked for me, but it might work for you. You might be a better looking guy than me. I've always wondered how people, you know, so confidently take women back to their houses. I have one of them sort of faces where if I approach a woman and say, do you want to come back to my house? They're like, no. They're very unsure around me, innit? Which is a shame, you know, because I am actually I think quite gentle, you know. I'm not a mentalist, you know what I mean? But we'll just go home and maybe watch an Emmerdale omnibus together. That's something you could try with a minute. You're into Emmerdale? You are? Would you want to watch Emmerdale then? I've got something I'd like to do, and then we'll watch Emmerdale. You know, try it like that. I don't know what soft people do. I don't know what this means. Stop being a softie with the women, other than it just being a pun because they've said your name's Drew Peacock. If your name is actually Andrew Peacock, though, I love the idea though that your name's Andrew and everyone's called you Andy, and then now your girlfriend's just figured out. But if I call you Drew, it sounds like I'm insulting your penis all the time. But maybe it's a compliment as well. Maybe that's a compliment to be called, you know, to be told you've got a droopy penis. But droopy doesn't sound all that good, does it? Droopy sounds a bit like deformed and like malnourished almost. Oh, it's a bit droopy, you know. Oh, it's droopy. It's not like, oh, it's fucking droopy. Like, that's not droopy, is it? That's swinging. That's a swinging penis. That's not a drooping penis. But I don't know. I hope this has made you feel bad about yourself, mate, in some way or other, because that's what she's asked for with the roast, innit? Because I don't think it's been that funny, innit? But I think I need a bit more to go off here, because I think May's forgot that I don't know who you are, innit? So this is hard, mate. This, unlike you, you're a softie, you're a droopy cock.
Again, maybe not that good, I'm not sure. But I start to get the hang of it around this point here, and I start to tell people when they get in touch with me, you know, I need a little bit more to go off than that, you know, if they come in touch with me and it's not enough. And turns out most people don't want to give you more. They don't want to, they're like, no, you know, you either don't get back to you and the thing expires, or I have to cancel the order because they won't give me any more information. And I want to give them the best for the money, innit? But I'm hoping that this hasn't been a bad advert for them. I really, really am. Because I'm having to listen back to these to edit them, you know, just in case there's any weird details in there. But, yeah, that was... see, maybe you get a little bit of an insight into me with them, I don't know. Again, these might be shite. This might not be any good to a wider audience. These may only be good because somebody knows their mate has paid for this. Do you know what I mean? It might be shite. But we'll move on to another. I think we can fit another one in. Now, I think this one's a good one, right? I do think this one's a good one. I think this is... There's some good ones now. I've just sort of relaxed into it a bit. I'm not as thinking, oh, fucking hell, should I, shouldn't I? I just fucking go in with it, innit? Because if people don't like it and they say it's shit, they can say it's shit. Do you know what I mean? When they've ordered it, and I'll be like, oh, fucking hell, I'll do you another, mate. Yeah, here's a better one, you know. They're asking me to roast people and bully people and stuff for them, and I'm more than happy to do that, innit, for a couple of quid. Take the piss out of someone and everyone's fair game about it. That's a fun thing to do, innit? It's not like I'm going out of my way to walk past someone in the street and insult them. Do you know what I mean? I'm an adult, I can't be doing that. And you should be doing that even if you're a child. But if you're a child, you probably shouldn't be listening to this shite anyway. Now, this one was for Tom. It doesn't really give me any information who it's from either. So, but I knew it's from a woman. Tom is turning 25. Please, are you able to sing Happy Birthday whilst squeaking the fox? And also have a wrapped pencil case present in the video. Tom is a chef and has had a tendency of dating the waitresses. Please make this as weird as possible. Now, that's the important line. Please make this as weird as possible. If there's anything I can do, mate, is make stuff weird. I'll be dead honest, mate. Probably my talent. If someone said, what's your actual talent? I wouldn't be saying taxidermy, innit? I'd probably be saying just sort of innate power to make people feel somewhat uncomfortable. You know, just by knocking about, mate. Anyway, here's the one that Tom got.
Happy birthday, Tom. Millie's asked me to send you a little message. She did want me to sing happy birthday to you, and nobody really wants that. Like, I don't want to do that, and I'm probably one of the only people I actually know. So I don't want to hear myself sing, innit? And I don't really want you to hear me sing. But I've come to a compromise, mate, right? Tom. I think that was right. I think that's enough, like, happy birthdays in there. She wants me to show you this as well, mate. You know, she wants me to show you me putting something in the arsehole of a dead rat. Apparently you've got a tendency to put your end in the staff, mate. They're called staff, aren't they? You know, I've watched The Bear. You know, the fucking... So if you're a chef, apparently you're a chef, right? That's what she's told me. She's told me you're a chef and that you like slipping your end up the waitresses. So I thought we could show you this. So we got this one. This is Rogering. So that's, in this situation, this is you, this is the waitress. Unless, you know, maybe you're a kinky guy. I don't know, you know. I like to think that Millie's your sister as well. Not in like a, kind of weird way. You know, just, I'm not, in my imagination, I'm thinking Millie must be your sister. And that's obviously why she's brought up the idea and the concept of you having sex with other women. You know, it's not some weird sort of like jealousy thing, it's just because she's your sister. And I like the idea that your sister's thinking about you having sex with these waitresses. But who knows in what situations that Millie's thinking of this? Is Millie thinking of this when she's with her fella? Or with her missus? You know, so in the situation like this, you know, is she here? Is she portrayed here by this fella in a silver suit, like P Diddy, right? And this is some fella that she doesn't even know, mate. She doesn't even know the fellas that she gets about with. At least you know yours. You've given yours a job and an employment. You've got power over them. Do you know what I mean? There's a dynamic there. She's just picking up strangers in pubs and at bus stations and that, mate. But here she is, getting rattled by this man that she's met, who's not even the bus driver, just some guy who's hanging round at a bus station at 5 a.m. And what she's doing there, this distant look in her eyes, well, in his eyes, portraying Millie, who I presume is your sister, is she's thinking about you, shagging these waitresses. Because she's trying to get herself a few more minutes, because what she's doing is she's determined to never climax, Tom. She never wants to get there. She always wants to make all these men that she sleeps with feel bad for not getting her there. You know, because that's how we feel, innit? We feel like we failed. It's like, oh, it didn't quite work. And it's not the sort of thing where you can sort of, you know, like a Nintendo 64, you'd be like, oh, come here and just, I'll you know, put it in my mouth for a minute, blow it round, and then I'll go again. Can't do that, innit? It doesn't really work. Like, and women don't like to be, like, treated like Nintendo 64 cartridges either. I mean, you know that though, don't you, Tom? You know that. I mean, maybe, Tom, what you need to start doing is dressing these women up in animal costumes like this. You know, you're a chef, so I imagine you do a lot of cocaine. So you've probably got some good muscle structure going on because your body's eating itself, you know, and from staying up late all night and that and smoking cigs rather than actually eating. So you might have a good body on you. Millie will know if you've got a good body on you. And this is two of the waitresses who, over Christmas time, they don't work in the restaurant, innit, because you get students in, which I imagine you really enjoy. But at Christmas time, the waitresses take better paid work in pantomimes. And these were being the Christmas donkey, portrayed here by this plastic horse. And this is you shagging the one behind. And you're, in your imagination, you're hoping and praying that she's going to town on this one from behind. But in reality, this one here is bored. She doesn't even want to be there. It's this one that wants to shag you, not this waitress. The front half of the Christmas donkey waitress doesn't want to have sex with you, mate. She's just in it for a friend. Do you know what I mean? That's why she's kept a horse face on in this depiction of your love life. Now, obviously, she hasn't given me much to go off here. Not a lot at all, you know. But I do hope you have a nice birthday. You're turning 25. 25 for me was alright, you know. I'm a bit older than you. But 25 was alright, you know. I enjoyed being 25. I think it's an alright age. You're still kind of a kid at that age because, you know, you're still thick, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I still am now. I'm only a few years older than you. I know that I look so sophisticated and that in my Mothman with his cock-out jumper. Which, if Millie's got any doubts about it, she'll also order you one of these off worldaroundyou.com for your birthday. Or she'll get herself one, mate, and then fantasise about how this is you in a wing costume with a bedsheet outside in the garden, shining a torch on yourself, you know what I mean? With wearing the wings, with the fucking, and you've got like red LEDs over your eyes like this. And you're like, come on, Millie. The taxidermist told me you fancy a bit, mate. Still, that's if she's not your sister. Maybe she's your cousin, which is kind of not as bad. Still wrong, but not as bad, I suppose. Not that I'm encouraging that in any way, shape or form, mate. Stick to your waitresses, man, because you can shag them and get through them and then you can fire them, which is, I assume, what you do as a chef. But I don't know how the industry works, innit? But either way, happy birthday, bro.
See what I mean? I'm quite confident that was a good one, innit? I think that was alright. I'm pretty sure they'll have enjoyed that one. They wanted it weird as possible. I took it weird. Made the whole thing about her fantasising about her brother. Now, if you want one of them, go to cameo.com/worldaroundyou. And if you want more podcasts that you can listen to that are a bit different to the ones that I put on here, you might like my daily updates, mate, where you get to listen to just sort of my own sort of is it unbridled thoughts? Is that the word? Just sort of unedited, just what's the word I'm looking for here? It's fucking where you just speak like train of thought, mate. It's just fucking train of thought sort of thing. Where am I going with this? You know, I'll come up with an idea, I'll go with it. Sometimes I come up with little like sketch ideas. I've got this obsession at the minute with trying to come up with sketch ideas. Is it not for like drawings, like comedy sketches? So it's just audio versions of descriptions of me watching them in my head that I'm making up. Then there's other things as well, like fucking little bits of conspiracy stuff, bits of interesting things I've found in the news, but that's all on patreon.com/worldaroundyou. All the links will be below. I hope you enjoyed this one. I think it got better towards the end there with the one for Tom, and I think you'll enjoy some of the next ones, but we'll have them next week. I'll fucking see you in a bit, mate. Don't forget to listen to these adverts. It earns me a couple like fractions of a penny. And leave a little 5-star rating on here. Maybe share it in your stories, mate. It all helps me out. I'll fucking see you in a bit, man.